Okay, so it's another one of those videos where I basically just review all these movies in this Blumhouse like movie marathon thing that they posted. So I did a few of these already, and some of the movies on this list were on those other lists. So, I already kind of talked about them before, but, I guess I'll still talk about them here, even though I already talked about them. But there are some in here that weren't in the other ones. So, there's still new ones, even if you already watched the other videos. So, yeah, and I have some shit to say about some of these movies, because just like, some of them are like, what the fuck? Why? That kind of thing. And I just, I, I yeah. So it's, usually with like movie review stuff, it's kind of like, yeah, there's gonna be some stuff I'm gonna say here that's kind of just like, fuck this movie or fuck that movie kind of thing. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess we should kind of get into it. So the first one is Ma, and I was kind of meaning to watch this movie because I was kind of like, what the hell is this? What does this mean? And whatever. Like, I was kind of like, interested a little bit just from like seeing it on whatever things. And, you know, so I guess this list thing was kind of like, hey, I guess I'll watch it for this list and then I'll, I guess I could do a video about it and whatever. And yeah, this movie was okay, I guess. Like, it was fine. It wasn't like super horrible, I guess, but you know, I wouldn't say it was like super amazing. I guess out of Blumhouse movies, like, there are a lot of ones that are a lot worse than this. Like, this one was just, a movie, I guess. Like, you watch it once and you're like, okay, I guess, like, that's fine. Like, I don't know if I'd really watch it again, but okay, it's there. That's cool, I guess. Kind of interesting a little bit here and there, but at the same time, some other stuff was kind of like, I don't know. It's just, there, I guess. But, it wasn't super unbearable to watch, but it wasn't like, over the top amazing type of thing. Like, it was, it was fine. It was okay. So, I guess whatever. There's some like, I would say the villain of the story is also a victim in a way too. So, it's like black trauma type of thing going on, and then she was like mad at people for treating her poorly, and but then she ended up treating her daughter poorly and being an abusive parent. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's shit that you were treated poorly in the past, but you can't just take it out on your kid too. So, you know, it's that kind of thing. I don't know if that's really a spoiler, but, I guess it's kind of a spoiler that she has a kid, but I mean, I guess it's not that big of a spoiler. It's not that crazy, so, whatever. I don't know. And yeah, so I guess let's go to the next one. This one is Unseen, and this one was, I don't know, kinda just, I don't know, it was like kinda weird where like it was a lot of just sitting in a forest and then going to like the sitting in a gas station or whatever, and like, oh, sitting behind the gas station counter, and it was going back and forth between sitting in the woods and sitting in the gas station thing, and I was kind of just like, you know, it was a little boring and nothing really happened too much, I guess. Like the dude that was going after the one lady, I don't even remember their names. You don't even see him very much. Like he goes after her and she does find her like a couple times, but like other than that, nothing really happens and there isn't really much happening. So yeah, and then there's also this other side thing at the gas station where like her phone dies and then she has to use someone else's phone and so she has to basically like steal this person's phone and then this lady's like a Karen. Like she ends up taking a phone from a Karen, and she's like having a fit that she stole her phone or whatever. And it's kind of just like it was just annoying, you know. So I was kind of just like, eh. I like, I don't know if I would really recommend this. Like, it's kind of just you could go without it, Like, it's kind of just one of those movies that's, there and, it doesn't like even the picture that I picked here doesn't even look that interesting either. I don't know if they really fucked up on promotional stuff because yeah, I also like never heard of this movie until this list thing here, so maybe I've seen it once before, but I don't really remember it, so I don't know. But yeah, anyways, let's go to the next one here. And this one is A House on the Bayou. And this one's just like, why? Like, I don't think they really explained anything that much either. Like, what was going on all that much? Like, I mean, I think the whole thing was just like, oh, we kill horrible people at this house. At least there's a line that someone said where it sounded like, oh, we built this little thing to, kill horrible people that did horrible things. And I'm kind of like, what? Like, okay, I guess. Like, yeah, just like everyone is in on it or something like that. Like, like the police are in on it and they're like killing people who've done bad things. But at the same time, you're also tormenting these other people here, and I just what like they said that, but then they didn't really say anything else. I don't remember them saying anything else, anyways. Like maybe I just wasn't paying as much attention as I should have, but it was kind of just like it was kind of boring. So I was kind of like, whatever. Like I don't really care. And the acting, like you know maybe you could have done a little bit better with that. I don't know. It was kind of like, you know. And then at one point there was like a wolf in the house, and like he was like attacking people, or at least attacked one character, and then another character like opened the door and whatever, and like the wolf was just sitting there growling at them, and it's like you're not gonna like attack anyone or anything. Like, how did they control this wolf here to like attack one person but not another person? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like, you can't really control a wild animal like that. So it's kind of just like, what the fuck, that kind of thing. And yeah. I don't know. And then the wolf waited till after they closed the door to continue attacking the person that was in there. I just like what? It's kind of weird, but yeah, if you really like, you can skip this movie. Like it's not really that interesting and whatever. Like it's not a movie that's like, oh, you should see this before this point in your life or before you die or whatever. It's kind of just like not too great. It's kind of boring and whatever. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, and that is Freaky. And this one, I already, this one was already on a list before, and I talked about how like I don't really like comedies usually, and this is a horror comedy, and like the only comedies that I can really say I like is like What We Do in the Shadows and Our Flag Means Death, which are kind of like made by the same like person or people or whatever. So it kind of makes sense that I like both of those. But then this, it's kind of like, you know, it's like the whole Freaky Friday type of thing going on, that parody thing kind of thing going on. And like they have other jokes in there. It's kind of just like, not so great. Like it's kind of like usually when comedy movies try to be funny, it's like more like kind of you just cringe at it a little bit. And it's like, just why? Why did you do this? I hate it. So, yeah, I already kind of talked about this in another video, so I don't really know if I really have to go into more detail about it. So, it's kind of just. It's supposed to be like comedy slasher thing, and I just. Freaky Friday slasher comedy thing, that kind of shit. And it's like, I don't know. Slasher movies, like, yeah, they're classic, whatever, but at the same time, we've seen it so many times, so it's kind of like, can we have something else a little bit? I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of just like, I'm not the person that would like a movie like this, because I don't really care about comedies all that much usually. So, yeah, anyways, I'm going to go to the next one, and that is Run, Sweetheart, Run. This one was also on another list that I already talked about and whatever. And this one, it was like, okay at first, and it was like, okay, it's, getting somewhere and whatever. But then at some point, they revealed that the dude was like a demon or some shit, and that kind of ruined it. So, yeah, I was just like, no, all of this stuff towards the end just kept ruining it for me, and I was like, it kind of got dumb after a bit. Like, it was already kind of like at first, like, it was okay, I guess, but then it kind of just got worse after a little while, and I was like, yeah, that's, you know, not so great, I guess. Like, it's kind of sad. Like, they tried to go with this twist thing where it's like, oh yeah, he's just a normal dude, and then he, like, you know, lures in women and, like, hurts them and whatever. And then it's like, he's human and whatever, and, like, is a shitty person. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but wait, he's a supernatural creature. It's like, what? Like, so it's a horror fantasy, I guess, kind of thing. Did it say fantasy on the thing though? I don't know. I'm kind of just like, why? But yeah. Anyways, let's go to the next one, and this one is Sick, and this one is based off of the pandemic and whatever. And they even talk about COVID and stuff in this movie. And this came out in 2023, at the start of 2023, so they filmed it in like 2022, I guess, and then came out. Or maybe they filmed it like a little bit before that, but I think they probably filmed it in like 2022 and then had it come out in early 2023. But it's kind of weird to make a movie about, a pandemic that literally just happened like a few years ago. So yeah, I'm kind of like, why? Like, making a movie about, like, I don't know, the Black Plague or some shit, like, I guess whatever for that. Like, that was how many years ago? Quite a while. I think some people can still get the Black Plague, but it's kind of rare, isn't it, nowadays? Because, like, again, like, we have, like, vaccines and stuff, and, better medicine, better things to, like, better equip ourselves with not getting that sickness. So I think it's kind of more rare. So it's like, it doesn't really affect us anymore. It's not really as much of a tragedy as it was back when it, like, really happened and, like, killed a shit ton of people. But then COVID is like, a few years ago, and it's like that killed a lot of people, and a lot of people were affected by it in other ways too. And so it's kind of just like, you should have maybe waited a little while longer to do that. Even like other movies where it's like, Titanic or, something about like the Holocaust and shit, it's kind of just like that was, they were a while ago, but they weren't that long ago, so it's still kind of like, yikes, to make a movie about that. Like, Titanic, I'm kind of like, I don't think I'll really watch that, I don't really care to, and I'm kind of like, yikes, because like, again, it was a while ago, but not that long ago, so I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. So yeah, it's like people are still kind of affected by that. Actually, I don't know if, because like last time I checked, the last person that was on Titanic, like they were a baby when it happened, but also it's like, are they still alive? Like last time I heard anything, like they were super old, I think. I might have to look it up, actually. Like survivors or whatever. Like last, like survive of last survivor of Titanic. Like, if I look that up and it's being slow for some fucking reason, I'm gonna have to try it again because it's being stupid. I don't get why it has to be so stupid. Okay, now it loads. But yeah, so it looks like she actually, I don't know, is it that she died? This thing says there are no survivors of the Titanic alive today. So, but it's still like I feel like it could still affect people, you know, and like whatever shit for like um the Holocaust. It's kind of just like good, like I think there's still some people, right? At least something, right? And so it's like it would still affect people. Yeah, it's like I don't know, kind of yikes if you made whatever movies about that. I don't know. I'm not really saying anything here, but it's still kind of just like me and But I mean, even if you waited till everyone was like who was affected by it gone, like even if they were all gone, it's still kind of like, do you really want to make a movie about something like that? Even if they're all dead, like it still seems a little weird to make a movie about. Like, I mean, sure, people can learn from whatever stuff and kind of understand why it's not so great, but still, it's kind of like, you know, do we want to do stuff like that? So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna move on to the next one, I think. But yeah, this movie actually, well, I guess I should still talk about the movie actually, because whatever. But yeah, this movie was kind of weird, where it's like, they go start killing people because like these people got their kids sick, and it's kind of like maybe you should have told your kid to not be a fucking idiot. And then they're like, "Oh, you got our son sick, and then he was in the hospital, and then he died alone in the hospital because of COVID, and you're the reason why he got COVID in the first place." And it's kind of like, why did you not tell your kid to not go outside? So it's like kind of a stupid the whole thing, and yeah, I don't know. It was kind of just a dumb movie. So I don't know. Like if it was so important to you, why did you not protect your own kid? That kind of thing. Why did you not tell him to not be stupid bitch? Like in real life, yeah, it's shitty that, people get sick and die, and, whether they're stupid about it or not is kind of, whatever. But like, this is a movie here that we're talking about. So, yeah, I don't know. But, if I were you, I would skip this movie because it was like it's not very memorable in the first place either. Like, it's pretty forgettable for some stuff. But yeah. Um Anyways, I'm just gonna go to the next one, and that is The Visit. And yeah, this movie, even just seeing pictures of it, I was like, this movie's gonna be shit. And yeah, it was shit. This movie didn't really explain a whole lot either. Like, these kids go to their grandparents' house, and like for some reason they never met them before. It's kind of just like, I mean, I guess if your mom doesn't talk to them anymore for whatever reasons, then maybe I guess you wouldn't meet them because, why would she let you go over there if she thinks they're not so great people or whatever? But also, it's like, if she doesn't talk to them anymore and she doesn't whatever with them anymore, why would she now let you go visit them after so many years? Why would she now let you go meet them? It's kind of weird how it's like, oh, I hate my parents. My kids can't meet my parents because they're shitty. And then it's like, oh, but after however many years now you can go meet them. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then, the grandparents are acting weird and whatever, and the grandma is really acting weird. But then it's like with the grandma, she's acting weird. And she's like making these weird growling sounds. And it's kind of just like, it sounds so fucking stupid and fake. Like, it's so dumb. It's not even scary. Um, and then they find out that those are not their grandparents, even though they look like them. They're not actually them, which is kind of like, I don't know. And then, like, they find their real grandparents' dead bodies in, like, the basement or some shit. And it's kind of just like, what? And then they're like, oh yeah, we have to, like, get out of here and stuff because, like, these people are crazy. But it's like, who are they really then? Like, what? I don't fucking know. This movie was kind of weird. And then also it's kind of like the grandparents or like the grandma specifically mostly like they only act really weird after 8:30 p.m. and it's like why only 8:30 or 9:30 I mean. And it's like why is it only 9:30? Then they act crazy. Like wouldn't they act weird 24/7 or some shit? Like, I just. Why? And, like, the kids were kind of annoying. But, like, I mean, kids in real life are kind of annoying, so I guess whatever, but still, like, what the fuck? I don't fucking know. I would skip this movie if I were you. This movie was just straight up shit for the most part, yeah. Um, Anyways, I'm gonna go to the next movie because I have some shit to say about this movie. The next movie is Megan. And I was going to avoid this movie like the fucking plague because it, like, seeing gifs, pictures, reviews, like, not even just reviews, but like, previews, trailers, whatever. Like, I was like, this movie looks like absolute fucking garbage. And I was right. It was garbage. I don't know why so many people liked it. Like, why were people so crazy about this shit ass movie? Like, like Megan's appearance, like yeah, she's a robot, and they were probably kind of going for an uncanny valley thing, but she's not even. I wouldn't say she's even really uncanny valley, cause like there's the right way to do uncanny valley, and then there's the wrong way to do uncanny valley. And the wrong way to do uncanny valley is like to just make it look like garbage. Like the right way is actually scary. Like the right way to do Uncanny Valley is like fucking terrifying. I hate things that are Uncanny Valley because they are actually fucking scary. But then this shit, if they are actually going for Uncanny Valley, that's kind of just like, you didn't do a very good job. You did a trash job. And then also in the movie, yeah, it's, you know, what the fuck? Because, like, at some point, Megan starts singing to the little girl that she's supposed to be taking care of. And I was just like, oh my god, stop. Like, why? Like, I was laughing because of how fucking stupid it was. And, this is supposed to be a horror comedy thing. And the funny parts weren't even funny because they're funny. It was funny because of how stupid it was. It wasn't even, you know, like the funny parts that were supposed to be funny weren't funny. And then, you know, the whole part where it's like, oh, it's supposed to be meaningful and sad and heartfelt and whatever, and she like starts singing and she just fucking ruined the whole scene. And then there was another part where she started singing, and she started singing Titanium. And I don't really, like, hate that song. But when she started singing it, I was like, oh my god, stop. I literally wanted to crawl out of my skin and, like, I felt this thing inside of me where I wanted to puke because she started singing Titanium. I I was cringing so much. I wanted to puke at that scene. Like I was like, "Oh my god, shut up. Why are you still singing? Stop." Like, holy shit. Also, when Megan starts acting weird and then there's some stuff where she's kind of, saying something or whatever, and it's like, why wouldn't you just like, turn her off or like try to fix it before it gets worse. Like the main character that's like, she made Megan or whatever, she like built her and whatever. It's like, are you that stupid? Also, within like the first bit of the movie, she like has a hole in the fence and the neighbor's dog gets in and like is like terrorizing her. Like it's the dog has been terrorizing her for the last however long just because there's a hole in the fence. And it's like, why don't you fill in the hole in the fence? Like, if it's that annoying and the dog is that horrible and like hurts people and is like vicious and annoying and whatever, why don't you block the hole with like, put a board or two up over the hole? Like, or put a giant rock there or something. I don't fucking know. Like, do something to block it off. Are like stop being stupid. Like, sure, the neighbor is like, should control their dog, but at the same time, put a fucking piece of wood or a rock or something over the hole so the dog can't get through. Like, are you that fucking stupid? And then she, when Megan's acting weird at first, and she doesn't fucking fix that. It's like, are you dumb? And then also, like, I mean, the whole thing with, like, using technology to take care of your kids for you, and then as you do something else and you're not making a connection with your own kid, that's, the whole movie is kind of about that, but it's also like, you know, like that part's shitty. And then also with the, electronics and robots and stuff taking over the world and like hurting people and killing people, like, yeah, like, people are worried about that too. Like, I mean, we've had videos about robots and stuff taking over the world, like, Terminator and shit. Like, we've had that in the past. Like, it's been done before, that kind of shit. Um, but like, I don't know, I just like, sure, it's cool that, like, we do need to talk about the whole, like, people not taking care of their kids and like using technology to take care of their kids for them. It's like you should spend time with your kids. Like that's the whole thing there. It's like take care of your kids. Don't just hand them an iPad and let them do whatever. Like spend time with them. That kind of thing. But yeah, this movie, other than that, complete fucking shit. um and then also another part, she fucking sings at another part too, where she's like getting destroyed and like, they're trying to kill her and whatever. Because she's like evil and they're like, oh my god, you're evil, we have to get rid of you and kill you. And she started singing like right before she got destroyed, pretty much. Like there's still some other stuff, but like she, like, right before they like really kind of tried to kill her, she did start singing there. And it was like, oh my god, why are you singing again? Shut up. It's so stupid. Like, I was so sick of her shit. Like, stop already. I don't care. But yeah, it's like, just why? Just why? I don't understand. But yeah, also with like her, when she goes all murder mode completely, and then she's like in the hallway. I'm sure you've seen the dance and the gifs and everything of her dancing. It's like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, it's, I don't get why people are obsessed with this garbage. Like, it was so fucking stupid. I was like, why? Just why? It's so dumb. I just don't understand why people liked it so much. And then also, when they were destroying her and killing her, it's like, it took so long to destroy her and shit. It's like, how fucking hard is it to destroy a fucking robot? Like, I guess she could maybe be kind of stronger than a person because she's a robot, but like at the same time, you also could like at one point the one character splashed water on her and kind of stopped her a little bit, but like shouldn't that have like completely fucked her up? Like it kind of fucked her up. And I mean sometimes electronics can survive when they get hit with water, but it's still kind of like shouldn't that like that was kind of a lot of water. And so it's like, shouldn't it have kind of destroyed her a little bit? I don't know. Also, like, Megan had, like, a chainsaw or whatever the fuck to the head, to the face, head or whatever. And, like, that should have also kind of destroyed her. But then they were like, oh no, she's still here. She's still whatever. Because the one part of her head's not destroyed. Because that's, like, her brain or whatever. And you have to destroy her brain to kill her. And, like, it's just, like, just kill her already. How, like, why do you have to take so fucking long just to kill this stupid robot? Like, this could have been over with, like, we could have taken off, like, fucking 10 minutes or some shit. Like, fucking destroy this bitch already. God, like, bro, it could have been so much shorter. Like, I don't get why people like that movie. It was just like, I was so like, I'm never gonna watch it, but then this list had it on there, and I was like, God damn it, I have to fucking watch this trash now. Yeah, I just, fuck that movie. I knew it was gonna be trash, and it was trash, so, you know, whatever. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Let's move on. The next one is Get Out. And this one, a lot of people were saying this one was really good. And yeah, this one, it's pretty good, I guess, for, you know, Blumhouse movie. Um, yeah, so it's like, he's dating this one girl, and he goes to visit her family and stuff, and her parents and everything. And then there's some things that he sees that's a little suspicious, a little weird. Cause like, they have this, I think she's like, a maid or a chef or whatever, and she's like, doing this stuff. She's like cleaning here and there, making whatever food or like, pouring them drinks and stuff and all that. And it's kind of like, she's a black woman doing this. And so it's like, hmm. But also before you see her, you see the groundskeeper who's like, gardening and like, mowing the lawn and stuff, doing all that stuff. And make sure there's like no dead plants and stuff everywhere. And he's also a black person, and it's kind of like, two black people there, kind of weird that they're, have basically servants here. Um, they're both black, so, that's a little sus there. And yeah, and the whole thing of like, the dad's like, oh, I wish I could have voted for Obama again. It's like, if I could vote for him a third time, I would. And it's like, you wouldn't just say that to say that, right? You really seem like you're just saying it because your daughter's dating a black man. That's kind of weird. It's kind of sus. But yeah, there's like all this stuff happening. It's like, what the fuck? Like they're trying to play off as if they're not shitty, but then everything else is pointing towards them being shitty. And then there's just like more and more, and like later he sees this one dude who's like someone he's met before, but then it's like, oh, he can't quite like put a finger on it or whatever. And then he's like also acting weird, and like, the black people that are there are like acting all robotic and stuff, and it's kind of like, a little weird. Like, why are they so off and whatever? And like, all the white people are kind of just like, watching them as if they're some exotic animal or some shit. It's kind of like, why are you treating these people like they're, like, hello, what the fuck's going on? And yeah, it's kind of like, what the fuck? And you later kind of find out that they're like brainwashing these people and like controlling them and like turning into them into like slaves basically, and they're like will do everything that you demand them to do. And so it's like, kind of weird. And they're like auctioning them off for like however much, and like, oh, this person's gonna be your servant, this person's gonna be your servant. So yeah, it's kind of like, what the hell? And then you also find out later that the girlfriend is in on it too, and she's like part of it, and she like lured him in, I guess, and it's kind of just like, what the fuck? Like, you kind of think like she's not in on it, but then it's kind of like, you kind of like guess, like, is she in on it? Is she not? Wouldn't be surprised if she is in on it though, because why wouldn't she be in on it? And then you find out that she's in on it, and it's like, fuck you too, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, it wasn't super horrible or anything. It was fine. It was pretty good for a movie like that. I don't know if I would really watch it again necessarily, but it was fine. Like it wasn't like, I guess I would say this is probably one of the better-ish movies, I guess. So yeah, I don't know, but that's I guess it's at least good enough for at least one watch, maybe two watches if you want, you know. Yeah, but like a lot of Blumhouse movies, it seems like they're not really worth watching. So also, you know, talking about movies not worth watching. The next one is Truth or Dare. And yeah, this movie was on another list that, Blumhouse made for watch party stuff or marathon stuff. And yeah, this is one of the movies that's like complete fucking trash. Like, I don't even think I need to really talk about it again. Like, even just like, the title of it is like just fucking stupid. Like, also, if you look at pictures and stuff, you can tell how fucking stupid it looks. Like, I don't even know why I went and like watched this movie for these videos. Like, God, I knew it was gonna be dumb looking at pictures. It's fucking stupid. Why did I even watch it? It was a waste of fucking time. Like, it was so stupid. It wasn't scary at all. Like, come on. Like, I don't fucking, like, who thought this was a good idea? So fucking stupid. But yeah, I already talked about it kind of in the other videos, so I guess if you want to watch the other, a different video that I have about this, like, these Blumhouse marathon things, then you can go watch that video too. I think I talked about it more in that video, so, whatever. But yeah, don't watch this movie because it's fucking shit. Anyways, next one is Firestarter. I feel like this has been in like all the other list things, right? Or at least most of them. But yeah, I'm kind of just like, isn't this supposed to be a kind of like scary list? And then this movie I wouldn't really say is necessarily a horror movie or scary movie. It's kind of just, I guess, sci-fi fantasy type of thing. 'Cause like they have like superpowers and whatever. And like, I guess the government going after them for having powers is kind of fucked, but like at the same time, I don't know. I don't think we really need movies to tell us that the like some governments are shitty. Like we already kind of know that some governments are shitty. So I don't know. But yeah, it's like I don't know. This movie, you know, I don't really think it's really worth that much. Like, it's kind of like you could skip this movie and you wouldn't really be missing much, that kind of thing. So, you know, I don't think it's really that worth that much. Like, if you can watch this movie for free, like if you want to watch it and then you can watch it for free, then you can go watch it for free. But don't waste money on it because it's not that worth much. So, like, I don't know. kind of just like, it's okay, I guess, but at the same time, it's like you could skip it, like that kind of thing. Yeah, anyways, next one is the first Purge. And this is supposed to be, the origin of why the Purge is a thing and whatever. And this movie, there was a lot of like people giving it like 1 star. And I mean, I think a lot of the people were just like mad that it was like about race and stuff. But I mean, there's still a lot of 5 stars, but there's also a lot of 1 stars. But yeah, I'm kind of just like, people are just like, oh, it's about race and stuff. But like, if the purge did actually happen in real life, they would do the shit that they did in this movie. Like, there would be racist people targeting black people on a bigger scale than they already do, you know? And then it's like, the KKK. Like, the KKK already does horrible shit, but they kind of do it, like, in secret more. But if the purge actually happened, I feel like they would go out more and do even more shit than they already do. So it's like, you know, I don't think this movie is far off from reality if this actually did happen. Like people are just like, oh, it's, the black people are the good guys of the movie and the white people are evil. It's about race and whatever. It's like, I mean, that's kind of, you know, how it's been for the last however many years in real life anyways. So, you know, can you really blame them for doing this kind of thing in the movies? It's kind of like, but yeah, like all the 1 stars or 2 stars on the reviews and stuff are just like, it's about race and it's so horrible. And like, I mean, if it happened in real life, that's how it'd go. So, are you really that surprised? I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of just like, you know, I don't fucking blame them for doing that in this movie. Making it how that movie went. Just like, I don't blame them for writing it that way. Anyways, let's go with the next one. And this is Hush. And this was also in another list that I made a video on. Um, and this one was like, I even talked about in the last video where it's kind of just like not really scary, I guess. Like, the dude with the mask on, it's like, it already doesn't really look that scary with him in the mask, but then, like, he doesn't even wear the mask for very long. Like, he takes the mask off, like, within just a few minutes of the movie, and it's kind of just like, he just looks like a normal fucking dude there. And it's like, it kind of ruined it, you know? It's like, oh yeah, like if he's wearing a mask, it's a little more scary, but it's not that much more scary because again, he's still just a normal dude, but then he takes the mask off and it just ruins it even more. So I was kind of just like, it's not really that scary either. So, it's kind of like whatever, I guess. I feel like, you could maybe skip this movie, but if you wanted to watch it, then I think it would be only like worth one watch if you wanted to. So, you know, whatever, but it's a pretty skippable movie, I would say. And then let's go with the next one, since I already talked about that one before in another video. And this one is There's Something Wrong with the Children. And this movie, complete fucking trash. Like, I mean, the acting was, kind of meh, I guess. Not the, like, super amazing, I guess, but also it's like the children were kind of annoying, which I mean, maybe they're kind of going for that. I don't fucking know. Um, but yeah, they didn't explain anything here in this movie. Like, they didn't explain why the kids were really like this, and they like didn't explain like what the creature was that made him like this. Like they didn't really show much of the creature either. Like it was just like you see a shadow of like the silhouette and everything, and then it's kind of just like you don't even really see it all that much. So it's like, you know, why couldn't we see it? I'm sure it would just be bad CGI or some shit, but it's still like, you know, you could have given us something, right? Like, come on, give us something. But yeah, they didn't explain a damn thing of what was going on with, like, the creature and stuff, and, like, why it was like that. And then, like, you know, like, other characters kind of got messed up from shit, and it's, like, also just, like, they didn't explain anything for that either. And so it's like, the whole thing is like, oh, there's something wrong with the children, but then this adult also gets messed up from that thing too, and it's like, you know, what? So I don't know. Like it focuses on the children a lot, but then it also has it where the adult gets messed up by it too. So I'm kind of like, okay, kind of weird, but sure. Also had like some predictable shit that's kind of just like we've seen this so many times before. Like, come on, give us something else. Anyways, let's go with the next one. I already talked about this movie in another thing too, because this was on another list of like these marathon things. And this movie, I would say, is one of the better Blumhouse movies. Again, it's not that hard to beat. But yeah, this one's a better one. It's like, this movie is about like kids getting kidnapped and like, they try to fix it and like solve it and whatever and like, you know, make it so no more kids get kidnapped by this person, that kind of thing. And like, the main person that's like the person that kidnaps people, the bad guy, the villain. Um, I forget his name, but like he does really well with like from what I've seen, the stuff that he's in, like he does really well with his roles. So it's like, the acting's great with his character because he does a great job. So, you should probably watch this movie. Like, give it a watch. Like, I feel like everyone should probably at least watch this at least once because it's pretty great for a Blumhouse movie. It's one of the better Blumhouse movies, so, it's pretty great. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but yeah, it's basically just kidnapper thing, so, you know, great there. Anyways, next one is, where is it? Okay, it's Vengeance, and this one was also in another list thing that they made, and when I watched this, I was kind of just like, it, nothing really happened all that much, you know? I think it was supposed to be like a documentary about something that actually happened, I think it was. But then like the movie itself didn't really do much for it. I don't know. Like it was pretty forgettable. Like if I go to whatever for this movie, like I think it said it was a documentary type of thing. But yeah, it's like they try to investigate a death of someone, and it's like, okay, like nothing really happens, so like, it was pretty forgettable there. But yeah, where does it say? Because I'm pretty sure it said something about it being like a documentary, like, oh, it actually happened and whatever. It's like based off of something that actually happened, and so yeah, I don't know. Where is it? Like, I'm pretty sure I saw something about it being an actual whatever. But then here it says Janiers on this, and it's like comedy, mystery, thriller. It's like you can do comedy. If it's based off of an actual thing, you're gonna make it a comedy. That's kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of like why if it's based off of a real thing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw something about it being based off of an actual thing, but I don't really remember. I don't remember where I saw that. Maybe it's not based off of an actual thing. I don't remember. But like at the same time, maybe it said so at the start of the movie. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, it's like a lot of nothing happened pretty much. It was just like these dudes going somewhere and like talking about stuff. And I just, you know, I was kind of just like, yeah, this is kind of boring. Just sitting here, listening to these two dudes talking. Like, I mean, I feel like you'd have to really like someone to just sit there and listen to them talk, you know? Like this video, you'd really have to like the topic of the video, or like, you'd have to really, care about what I think of these movies to actually like watch this movie all the way through. Like, I'm like, 50 minutes into this video and, you know, I'm sure a lot of people dropped off a long fucking time ago, so it's like, this movie is almost an hour long, and I'm sure it's gonna be over an hour long, and I'm sure a lot of people dropped off already, cause like they're probably fucking bored, cause I just keep talking and whatever. And that's kind of like with this movie, it's kind of like, I feel like they were just talking pretty much most of the time, and nothing else was really happening, like, that kind of shit. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I would have to watch it again, try it again, but, like, I don't really care to, so, whatever, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, the next one is Soft and Quiet. This one was also on a couple of the other, list things, and I'm just like, why do you keep putting it on the lists? Like, I already talked about it a couple times, and I want to forget this movie because it was so fucking shit. Like 40 minutes of nothing, pretty much. And then when they leave, it's like, oh hey, now we're gonna do some shitty things to some people. It's like, it's a whole movie about horrible people. It's like, why would I want to watch a whole movie about racist people doing horrible things? They're also homophobic too, so it's like, why would I want to watch these horrible people do horrible things? I already see enough of that in real life, so go the fuck away. But yeah, I already talked about it in the other movie or the other videos because I was like, what the fuck. Anyways, the next one is Nanny, which was also in a couple of the other videos, and I'm kind of just like, I don't know. But this movie, um, I mean, it's like it's okay, I mean, like I guess it's, you know, kind of like it's not the worst fucking movie in the world, Like it's fine. Like it's, like it's not like some of the other movies that were on this list. It was a bit better than some of the other movies, but it's also like psychological horror and it's also like sad and stuff. So it's like if you want something that's kind of messed up and sad, then I guess, go watch it 'cause, I guess it works, but at the same time, like, I don't know. If you don't want sad shit, then I guess avoid this one. 'Cause it's kind of fucked up, sad kind of thing. So, you know, I feel like this one, I mean, like, watching it once is fine. And then, I don't know. Maybe if you really wanted to watch it again, then I guess whatever. But I don't know. Like, if you wanted to watch it, then, you could go watch it at least once. Like that works, I guess. It's like, it's one of those movies, I guess. Anyways, let's go to the next one, and it is Ouija Origin of Evil, and this one was also on one of the other things, and these Ouija movies are absolute fucking garbage. And it's just like the whole like, oh, the ghost possess people and like, or it's like a demon or whatever. And like, I don't get how it has so many 5 stars. Like most of the stars are 5 stars or 4 stars, and then Like, how the fuck are you, like, what? It's so fucking garbage. Like, I don't, like, how can people like this fucking trash? But it's just like, oh hey, dumb kids be dumb and, get possessed and everyone dies kind of thing. It's basically like that. Or like, I guess not everyone dies, but like a lot of people die and whatever. And it looks like stupid garbage. Even if you look at just pictures, like it looks fucking stupid and not scary. Like, it just looks dumb. So, I feel like if you wanted to laugh, then maybe watch this, but at the same time, it's so fucking stupid that even then, I don't think it's really worth watching. But yeah, I already kind of talked about this movie in the other videos, so I should probably move on to the next one anyways. I just kind of wanted to talk about how trash it was. But yeah, the next one is The Invisible Man. This one was also on another one of the videos where I talked about that, like, it was on one of the other lists. And this movie, I feel like it's more like psychological, like, mystery, horror type of thing, thriller, um, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's basically just this woman has an abusive boyfriend or husband or whatever, and he's really shitty and like kind of tries to make her go crazy kind of thing and whatever that kind of thing. And yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's fine. Like if you wanted to watch it, then like, you could watch it once. I feel like if you're gonna watch it, then like one watch is enough, I guess. Like, it's kind of just there, you know, kind of one of those movies where it's like you watch it once and you're like, okay, cool, I guess. That kind of thing. It's like, whatever. It's there. Okay. Not like super amazing, but not like complete fucking utter garbage. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, I guess, at the same time. It's like a sci-fi thriller type of thing. And so, I don't know. It's kind of like, okay, whatever, I guess. But yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's like, one watch is whatever, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, you could go without watching it, I guess. Like, it's not like, you're missing too much from this one either if you don't watch it. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's go to the next one since I already talked about that one before. I think that one was also in, like, the other two lists, but yeah. The next one is Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension. And one of the other lists already had Paranormal Activity. I think it was the first one. Yeah, it was the first one. And I could not watch it. I could not finish it because it was so fucking garbage and the acting was horrible. And so when I saw there was another Paranormal Activity video on this other list, I was like, great, fucking great. Like, why do I have to watch another fucking Paranormal Activity movie? Like, I knew these movies were shit. Like, why do people like these movies? Like, maybe people like these movies because of how shit they are, but it's still just like, why? Also the CGI in this movie was fucking utter trash. Like, complete fucking just rubbish shit. And yeah, like also I think with the last one, the audio was kind of cutting out on the first one when I watched the first one, and then like the same thing happened with this one too, where the audio like just stopped working halfway through. So I was like, what the fuck? Why is it not working? And so it was like it didn't really make any sense. But yeah, I was kind of just like, the audio cut out, and I was like, I wasn't that interested anyways. Like it was complete shit. Like I don't care. Like, I mean, okay, the acting in this one wasn't as horrible as the one, like, the other Paranormal Activity that I watched for the other thing, but it's still, like, this movie was just still complete shit. Like, even if the acting was a little bit better, like, it didn't save it at all. Like, it was still complete fucking shit. And, like, just, like, why? What was the point? Just, like, also, why is there, like, how many fucking Paranormal Activities are there? Like, 7, 12, or some shit? I don't know. I could look it up. But it's like, why is there so many? Just why? Who thought it was a good idea to make more? Like, if I look up paranormal activity and for some reason it wanted to go to a different thing, where is hello? I need to go to the, like, I need to go to paranormal activity. I don't know why it didn't want to come up right away. But, like, how many are there? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 right there. Okay, there's like 7. So I was right at the first thing. Like, there's 7. It's like just complete fucking garbage. Like, you made 7 movies that were complete fucking shit. Like, why are you wasting your time? You know? Like, I just, and why do people like these movies? Is it just because you like shitty movies, cheesy movies? I don't fucking know, but yeah. So, yeah, that's all of the movies in this list, in this movie marathon thing. There isn't any others. That the Paranormal Activity one was the last one. So, thank God it's over because this is super long. And yeah, that's all of them. And so, I mean, I guess there's at least some that were not so horrible here. At least, like, there's some ones that were, still held up pretty good, but like, there's still ones that were complete fucking shit and, made me wanna fucking not live anymore. They made me not wanna exist. Looking at Megan specifically, I wanted to die during that movie. So, yeah, I don't recommend some of these movies, but some of these movies are fine, okay? So, you could watch some of them if you wanted to. Some of them deserve at least one watch, but some of them don't deserve the time of day. So, avoid most of these, I guess. But some of them are okay. So, you could at least watch some of them once, at least. So, yeah. Anyways, that is, I guess, it for this video, so bye.